We're live to Taipei, Taiwan. You're looking at a live shot of that TransAsia Airways jet that has just been pulled from the water. We know of at least 26 people confirmed dead. Some put that number higher, but that's the number we're going with for now. Several are still missing. As you know, all of this was caught on camera as TransAsia flight, GE-235, crashed shortly after takeoff in Taiwan. It's becoming the 9th fatal plane crash in that region alone just since 2013. And for this carrier in particular, the 7th such serious safety incident since 1995, which is why Mark Murphy says flyers should choose their airlines very carefully when flying abroad. It's a lot of airlines, though, Mark. I mean,
yeah.
What do you tell people? Is it, I'm looking at Asia, Mark. Who should I fly?
I mean, fly some of the major guys. I mean, fly United over to Asia, but when you're in intra-Asia, look at Singapore Airlines, Cathay Pacific. You've got some great carriers. In fact, you've got carriers over there that the domestic U.S. carriers are trying to emulate from a service, a product, in-flight experience.
But a lot of them don't do the domestic jumps from the islands to all of this region. There's only a few who do.
Singapore is intra-Asia. They've got an airline that flies intra-Asia. So it's just a big growing market. And you think about the size of the Asian market. That market is 30% right now of all global air traffic, and they're talking about that going to about 40% in the next 20 years. So just the number of aircraft orders that are going there are unbelievable.
Do you think people get paranoid? I've talked to, sadly, if there are a lot of crashes or planes that go missing. We always look at airline safety record after the fact.
Right.
Should people keep that in their repertoire of things when they plan a flight? I mean, what do you do?
I think when you go to a place like Asia, you're typically booking a package, right?
Right.
And you may start in Taipei, you may go to Hong Kong, you may up in Xi'an, the
And you don't even
capital.
think of who or what you're flying.
Correct, because you're booking a package. So what you want to do is rely on a very solid tour operator, because they're the ones that are going to be putting together those things, putting together the contracts with the hotels, the air carriers, et cetera, and just speak to them, because they don't want to put you in harm's way. So make sure you're working with maybe like a United States Tour Operators Association.
Well, what about you get what you pay for? A lot of these are cut-rate airlines. I'm not saying that this is like a cheap airline, but I mean, it makes money off of charging very little money.
Right. So the thing that they have to worry about is what are they paying their engineers, their maintenance guys, their pilots, and there's a huge demand for pilots in the next few years. They're saying they need another 216,000 pilots over there, which is almost double what we have currently flying commercial aircraft here. So you start thinking about that. How are they going to fill that gap? They don't have the training facilities that we have. They don't have the infrastructure.
Do they have an FAA equivalent over there?
You know, that's a good question. I'd have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure who steps in that regard, but in many cases, the FAA goes in and supports, like we saw with MH370. We step in and we try to help those individual countries.
Well, I imagine is a disproportion over there that there are an odd number of Asian airline incidents.
Yeah, it seems that in the last, we've seen MH370 just disappear. We saw AirAsia a few weeks back. Now we see this. So again, it's collectively a concern. I think you have to choose your carriers wisely. If you're booking a trip there, you're typically going to book a package. Find out who you're flying on before you take off on the trip.
All right, Mark, thank you very, very much. In the meantime, you think